Hey guys, Chris Fraize, Canine Solutions Training Services.
Dylan Sullivan, also Canine Solutions Training Services.
For the moment.
Yeah.
Wanted to talk to you about real trust in dog rehabilitation with aggressive dogs. You know, it's a hard thing to do real rehabilitation because it does require trust. In this case, you'll see Mike Roback, who is an apprentice here, and he's just starting out with behavior rehabilitation. He has to trust me, he has to trust Dylan, we have to trust each other, we have to know what each other are going to do, and he has to learn to trust the dog, and the dog has to learn to trust him. When you start adding muzzles and all kinds of tools, it gets convoluted. I'm actually working on an article right now that I'm going to do another video to, and I'll explain that even more. But take a look. Mike did all right.
You did a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, he really did. Take a look and check this out. Real trust. How do you feel about this dog?
Scary. Pretty sure he'll bite me.
He's sketchy?
Yeah, he will.
Okay. So how old is he, Dylan? 4? 3 or 4? Yeah, so it's a 3 or 4-year-old Cane Corso, probably a little bit, maybe 110, 115. All right, so Dylan, take him out. Okay, take him out for a whiz. Okay, so that's what I want you to do.
Take him with the leash. Okay.
Yeah. You gonna do that?
Gotta try.
Yeah. No, but it's important to try. So this is about reading the dog, not your fear, right? So you are an apprentice here, yes?
Yeah.
So you have to learn some things through experience rather than philosophy, yes?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard for you.
Oh yeah.
All right. You can tell Mike's nervous and he needs to learn to trust. And the only way you're going to do this is to go through it. I really think bond comes from having to go through some shit with somebody or a dog and then come out the other side with a better trust and better understanding of the person. You had to do this.
With this dog.
Yeah, with this dog, right? And with other dogs too, where you got lucky a lot
Yep.
early on.
Yeah.
Because you weren't a big old threat, you know? But over time, you know, we joke around a lot and we shit on each other a lot, but we really do. But you learn to trust the people you work with, and this is what Mike's gonna have to do. This is what we're asking of Mike. But again, he wanted to be an apprentice at Canine Solutions Training Services and learn how to rehabilitate aggressive dogs. Okay, walk up to the kennel. Let's just do a test run. Walk up. Okay. So what you just saw was Mike and the dog getting to know each other. They can both see that they're afraid of each other. The action speaks so much louder than the word. And that's what I think people miss a lot in behavior rehabilitation. So what you're gonna see is how Mike and the dog are feeling each other out. They're both afraid. They both can have the potential to be aggressive. And they're working that out. So rep after rep, this big adrenaline dump from both of them. In that adrenaline dump, there's really not much going on other than you just have to stay in the game. You can't sustain that level of adrenaline for a long period of time. So they both have to come down. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, go take them out. Okay, so Mike calls the dog's bluff here, and he gets away with it.
Yep.
He's starting to learn that if this dog wanted to get him, he would have already been got.
Right.
There's just been too many times where the dog has made an attempt, but it's half-hearted, and Mike's finally picking that up. However, just because you get the dog out of the kennel successfully doesn't mean you're going to get him back into the kennel successfully. Take a look. Okay, put him back in.
there we saw the dog take a shot at him, and he bit him, but didn't.
He put his mouth
Yeah,
on
he
him.
didn't.
He didn't
puncture
bite
or
him.
anything.
So what's a bite?
You have to be able to stand a Q-tip up in the puncture.
Right.
That's what qualifies as a bite.
Yeah.
So the reason that Mike was successful at getting the dog out but not putting the dog back is because when you're taking the dog out of the kennel, you're relieving pressure because you're leaving the situation. But then when you're putting the dog back in the kennel and you're going towards him, you're putting a lot of pressure on him. And so this dog, because he doesn't trust him, because he's reactive, has learned that when he, takes a shot and does that ferocious display of barking, people tend to go away. So initially Mike did that, he did jump back, but then he was able to set his fear aside and again called the dog's bluff and then was successful in taking the dog's leash off.
And people should know we are constantly coaching between shots and all this stuff. We're working, we're communicating with each other. We're really paying attention to Mike's safety, and we know the dog.
Yeah, we picked this dog very specifically for a reason because we knew that he would be terrified of the dog, but
the
we
dog
knew
wouldn't
that
do anything.
even if the dog did try to bite, it would be so minimal.
Yeah. Did you see how you had to wait until he changed his behavior? So if you walk away while he's doing that, he's going to keep doing it. So now how do you feel about going in there and taking him out?
I'm nervous.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
All right. So Mike has realized now this dog's not serious. He's really figured that out because he's pushed it. The dog went like this. Nothing happened to Mike.
Yeah.
But something else that the dog learned was, holy shit, this tool doesn't work.
Yeah.
Now this is where you have to be careful because some dogs will go, okay, if that didn't work, I'm gonna bite you.
Right.
This dog, not gonna do that. This dog's like, sorry, didn't mean to do it. And that's where each dog individually, with each person individually, has to be evaluated in real time. Otherwise, if you just are learning technique, you're not gonna see all this stuff. No. Go ahead, Mikey.
Take him outside.
Yep. Just put him back in. Go ahead. Take the leash off.
So, you can definitely clearly see for the body language of both Mike and the dog that they're still very uncomfortable, nervous, and pretty fearful. Yeah, when he's trying to get the leash off and he's just slowly creeping his hand down. So the trust isn't all the way there, the fear is still definitely there, but again, the trust has now started because, Mike is learning things about the dog, he's learning things from us, he's learning
about himself.
Yeah, so it's just they're really beginning to get those successful reps in having the dog in and out, get the leash off without the dog snapping, without the dog barking, without the dog, growling or trying to get away. And so the more that we get reps of that with those two, the better and better it will get.
Right, and the thing is that trust is a fragile thing. So if Mike steps on the dog's foot, he has to know what to do to not lose the trust that he's gained. There's a long way to go. There's a real long way to go. I'm really proud of Mike. Really proud of Mike. This is some big ball shit. And what I think is really neat, and you guys can try it, is watching this video or the clips in between us talking without volume, and you can just watch the body language because that's where it's at. That's where it's at. That's the whole thing about communication. So if you're afraid and you're showing it, you're going to get bit. And if the dog sees that you're not afraid, and the dog starts to go, okay, well, they're not so weak and my tools aren't working. So again, lots more to this that you'll never see, but this is just a little taste of real trust and gaining real trust. So it's not the fairy farts, unicorns, and rainbows, but it's not the whatever that guy was who just welded and yeah, that's crazy. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to comment, like, and share. That's the deal. See ya.